Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. And today I am so excited to present you with another token teaser segment. And this one is super special because this one has not even launched to the public yet. Folks, you know that I love pre-sales, that I've invested in a couple hundred private sales and done extremely well in several of them. And I am looking forward to introducing you to the CTO, the head of Web3 development of this project. Kane, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hey, Brad. Nice to see you. Yeah, good. Doing well. Thank you. Doing well. Thanks for having us on.
Awesome. Well, you guys could probably figure out that we're talking about Wunder. We got it branded here. We got the token ticker Wunder. Wunder.social is the website. And excited to have you, and want to thank you, your community, for coming out full force too. I saw a lot of people in the chat, from your community. And, so real fast, we're going to do a $100 giveaway towards the end of this live stream. You do have to be present to win. And one of the ways that we capture information for the random number generator giveaway is by typing #Wunder in the chat. I will give a little spoiler alert away sometimes to avoid some of the people that want to game the system and, type in #Wunder with 10 different YouTube accounts. I might switch that up towards the end of the stream, but you never know for sure. So to get this party started, let's do the #Wunder in the chat. Smash that like button so that the YouTube algorithm pumps this out to as many people as possible, because we really want to help this company have the best launch possible. So with that, Kane, before we get into Wunder, if you don't mind just going back a little bit with me and just kind of telling everybody a little bit about you, how you got involved in this crazy world of blockchain technology, and how Wunder came to be about.
Cool. Yeah, would love to. Okay, well, before I set the scene with myself, I'll give you a little bit about Wunder itself. So to us, Wunder is what social media should have been from the start. Real people, real content, real ownership. And that was kind of where it all began. For us, Wunder's a new kind of platform that blends the best of Web 2 and Web 3. And it's where creators kind of keep control of their content, users own their identity, and the community actually benefit from the value that they create. And that's a big change in what's going on with current social media platforms. And it's not just social media platforms, it's the internet in general. We've been quietly building for the last few years, testing, listening, learning from creators and communities who have felt let down by the platforms they're using now. And Wunder's the response to that. It's a safer, more authentic digital space powered by a real token economy where you don't just scroll, you belong. And if you believe the internet needs a reset, then, Wunder's where it kind of starts. And that was kind of the thing that the CEO brought to me 4 years ago now. At the time, I was running an agency, and Jay kind of rang me up during lockdown, and he was like, dude, I've got this idea. I need to talk to you. And where it was all born for him was he was going around, he's got a heart of gold. He was going around helping people that were vulnerable, needed access to medicine, couldn't get food, stuff like that. And he was finding these opportunities online, but he was seeing all the negativity online, and he was getting swamped with what was going on and the really poor social behavior. And he was looking at what's enabling all of this and what's happening. And it kind of sent him on this journey. He was like, there must be a better way of doing this. Called me up. We sat down, socially distanced, responsibly, because we could just about do that then. And we kind of riffed on this idea. Jay went away and got our initial investment round to do it. But what we always said was we weren't just going to rush something out the door. We're going to find out what's really happening, what market sentiment is, why social media is the way it is, what's the toxicity that is going on, how do we tackle it, what's the real problem, how do we get to that root problem? And then we've kind of slowly but surely iterated through this MVP that we launched about 2.5 years ago. And we've built that experience. What it did was it led us on this journey to Web3 technology can solve the problem, because it's all about transparency. It's all about truth. It's all about, being real. And as much as there is this whole Anon community, and we love them, and, respect what, how they use social media and how they use Web3 technology, we saw it different. We said, look, this is a transparent way of giving people the opportunity to really take control of their lives back in the social world. Something that just we lost control of over the last 2 decades, that we've kind of had the web and social media in our life in any sort of prevalence. So yeah, that's where it all began. And we realized that Web3 just unlocked these opportunities, and we started diving deeper into it and getting more engrossed in it. And we just found this wonderful community that has wrapped around us. They've been incredibly supportive, and we're really grateful for it, because they see that we want to take Web3 to the masses, right? We know all the challenges that are involved in it. I talk all the time on like X Spaces and other spaces about, you know, inherent challenges that we've got of bringing Web3 to the masses. And there are some people that are resistant to it, right? They don't want it to happen, but we do. We want the world to benefit from it. And, you know, we're focusing heavily on UX. That's why we kind of call ourselves Web 2.5, right? We bring Web 2 with the best of Web3, we hide the wires and we push it out there. And then you get Wunder. And it's not just about the social app. It's about the layer that we're building in between that enables the social app. And that's just the first opportunity. Everything else that's going to come from that, people can build on our platform in the future and work with the protocol that we're going to develop. And it's a real opportunity to create change, social change online. It's almost like the new social contract for social media between the consumer and the outer world. And we're changing that. And that's kind of where Wunder's going now, and this kind of vision and movement of what we want to achieve. And the token is a vital part of that. You know, we didn't just develop a token for the sake of it, right? We have real utility, we have real use. Because when we started looking at like, how are we going to do this? We're like, oh, how are we going to fund this? How people are going to make these transactions? How do we make it transparent? How do we make it truth? Oh, smart contracts can enable these things. And then, oh my God, the Wunder token. That's what we're going to do. So, and that's why we're here today, really.
Awesome. You know, I really love that. And one of the reasons I was excited when, you know, we got introduced to each other and I started looking into, you know, Wunder is because I'm a huge proponent of, you know, social media, decentralized social media, Web3 social media that's outside of, you know, Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. But it just seems like there's a lot of promising Web3 projects that are, you know, that are trying to get traction. And it's been pretty hard for, you know, companies, especially blockchain companies, to get any real traction in the social media world. And I'm just wondering, what do you think makes Wunder different? And why do you feel like you guys are going to get some good traction with this platform?
You know, that's a really good question, and one that a lot of people ask, because we have seen social fly platforms kind of fall around us. We've seen DeSo platforms fall around us. I think that for us, like most Web3 projects focus on decentralization for the sake of it. They focus on social fly for the sake of it. At Wunder, we're blending the best of Web 2 and Web 3 to actually fix what's broken. So we're not just replicating existing platforms on chain, which is what a lot of people have tried to do. Creators own their content and revenue. That's a complete difference straight away. Users control their data and their identity, something no one else is doing the way we're doing it. And the whole ecosystem is powered by the Wunder token, giving real utility and rewards to the community. But at the heart of it all is our goal to make the internet feel real again, to build a more authentic experience where people, content, and interactions actually matter. So we're not just building a platform, we're rebuilding the social contract, like I said before, of social media. Like, how do we get there? How do we make that change? How do we get people to interact in a different way online? And when you pull all those pieces together, what we've actually done is we've said we appreciate everything that you like about Web 2. Right? We really respect it, and we know why you're there, because we live in a fun scrolling economy, right? We know this. That's the culture we live in today. We do everything with our thumbs on these little devices in our hands, and they bring the world into us. Now what we're doing is we're saying, well, this is a watershed moment. There's been nothing that's kind of protected consumers properly. And it needs sorting out. We don't want to rely on the governments to do it. They're doing a terrible job of it. So somebody needs to actually take action and provide a true alternative to those platforms. And we have 3 years worth of research that tells us how to do that, which no one else has got. And we've got huge Web 2 backing that no one else has got. So, you know, I think that's the big differentiator for us. We're not thinking narrowly just about Web 3. The beauty of Web3 is, and we really appreciate the fact that the Web3 community has embraced us. And we had really good reaction when we went to Web3 Amsterdam the other week, and we spoke about what we were doing. And we get really good response in our Telegram group and on X and stuff like that, right? We're really grateful that they see what we're trying to do, and they see that we're thinking outside of it. We're not trying to make something for us like as Web3s, because all those Web3 people are Web2 people as well, right? We're all normal people who enjoy social media. So then they know that we're looking at the other side, and they see that in our messaging, in our website, in our promotional things. We're all human beings, and we want to just provide a better place for real people to engage with one another. No one else is doing that. So we are different.
One of the things that I really was impressed about looking at your project, a lot of people, I don't think, understand that Web3 is the future, but that right now, most of the human population isn't quite ready to be onboarded to Web3 yet. And so one of the things that was exciting to me about your platform is that you're integrating Web2, and Web3. And what I mean by that, folks, is like I'm part of there's a few gaming platforms out there. I really like gaming. There's some great gaming platforms out there that just 100% focus on Web3. And part of the problem with that is that 95% of the population doesn't have a cryptocurrency wallet. They don't understand Web3 and decentralization yet. And the most successful platforms in gaming so far, in my opinion, are ones that have integrated Web2 and Web3. And so, how does Wunder kind of bridge the gap between Web2 and Web3?
Do you know what? I think the simple answer to that is we're meeting people where they are. Most users don't care about blockchain jargon. They care about great experiences. Right. That's why they've partnered. So that's why we've partnered with Dynamic. And for anyone who doesn't know Dynamic.xyz, we've kind of gone to them to say, look, we want you to handle embedded wallets for us, one-click logins, and seamless onboarding for our consumers. Make it feel super Web2. And they already had this really rich experience that we've kind of built on top of. And what we're trying to do is hide all of those wires. It means that users don't need to know anything about crypto to use Wunder, right? It just doesn't matter. What they need to know is the Web3 just works in the background, right? That's all that matters. It just works. We care about hiding the wires, but bringing the power of Web3 to the world so everyone can benefit from it. You shouldn't need a PhD in quantum wallet wizardry or have to sacrifice gas fees to the blockchain gods to post a video, right? That's kind of the way we see it, because like some of the experiences we all go through, and I definitely went through them when I got into kind of the Web3 space. I was like, okay, I want to buy this token. I need to exchange this, swap that, do that, touch my nose, spin around in circles, do a little bit, and I still didn't get the token. And I'm like, Jesus. So I want to take that away for everybody. I want everyone to come in and go, cool, I can get Wunder token like that. On-ramping inside the app. Really simple. KYC inside the app. Do it once, don't have to do it again. Link it to a decentralized identification and explain to people what that means in a really simple term for them. In the real world, we are issued driver's licenses. We are issued passports. Okay, it's by a centralized body, whether you like them or not. But they don't hold on to that for us. And when you go to a club or you go somewhere, you don't say to the bouncer, hold on, will you just ring HMRC or will you just ring the driving standards agency for me and check how old I am? You hand them your driver's license. You show them it, right? It's simple. It's in your wallet. So why don't we do that online? Why don't we give people the power back? Give them their data, give them the control, give them the opportunity to actually handle it themselves. Because who do you trust more than anyone in the world? Yourself, right?
Right.
Simple. Just give it back, give the power back. And then once we've done that, and that's kind of our gateway in, everything that comes from that is enabled because we know exactly who you are. Now, it's not because I need to know every granular detail about you. I don't. It needs to be on chain. And I just need to be given permission to access what you are happy to share with me. And then I can tie all of your content to you, all of your creator rewards, all of your revenue, all of your income, or anything that you want can be attached to it. But then you take it a step further and you say, well, okay, well, other platforms might want access to it. That's not a problem at all. Let's take the standard operation of federated login or SSO, something we all do without thinking. Log in with Facebook, log in with Google, log in with Apple, log in with any of these things. We're making a decision at that point to say, I trust that company to log me into this company and they can use my data however they want. We must be loony to trust half of these companies because we know about countless times they have misused our data, they have lost our data, and they have compromised everything just for stakeholder revenues and to line their own back pockets. The only people who use are us, the consumers. So if we at Wunder say, no, you hold your data, you own your data, and we have initiatives. If you want to make money out of your data, stake some tokens into our staking pool. We'll gather data about you completely anonymized, and then we will sell that data like everybody else does. But we'll share the rewards with you. We'll share the revenue because you deserve to be paid because it's you. You are your own product. We're not trying to sell your eyeballs. We're not trying to steal your integrity, not trying to steal your data. We just want to work with you to derive true value for everybody. We'll keep the platform going and we'll give you the opportunity to own your data. If Web 1 was the introduction of Web 2 was interaction, Web 3 is ownership. But don't give everyone else ownership of your data. Take back control. And that's where Wunder is coming from.
Yeah, I love that. That kind of leads me into my next question. You know, when I'm scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, I just see ad after ad. You know, they've got these, addictive algorithms. And I'm just like, what is your model, or how are you breaking free from that model that we're all used to in the past?
Yeah, do you know what? It is one of the biggest differentiators that we have. The problem with most social media platforms is exactly that. They're designed to keep you scrolling, not to make you feel better or more connected. They just want to sell your eyeballs. At Wunder, we flip that on its head entirely. We're not reliant on ad revenue to survive. So we're free to build an algorithm that actually is good for people. You know, we're using AI to help users shape their own feed, to say, show me more of this. I don't want to see that. And to identify things like deep fakes, AI generated content, harmful, misleading material, stuff that is fake news, right? Stuff that other platforms just turn a blind eye to. We're like, well, it's harmful to the public. So why would we do that? And instead of hoarding all the revenue that you make out of data, because data is worth so much money today, we share a big chunk of it back with our creators, with our community, with the general population. These are, and you can choose to use it for yourself. You can get involved with community-led projects, which is a big, important thing to us. We want to make sure that a huge amount of our revenue is paid forwards through various initiatives that Wunder is supporting and going to be leading, actually. Because our revenue model is actually built around utility through the Wunder token. And that's a big difference. And that's where Web 3 really comes into its own. The other places don't have that benefit. And that's why the Wunder token is there. We can grow without selling your attention to the highest bidder. When you combine that with community of real users, no bots, just people with verified self-sovereign identities, you create a space that can eventually self-police. Just like Reddit at its best, we're not here to dictate that people should see or what people should see, or, we're building the tools, to be honest with you, and the incentives for the communities to decide for themselves, like, this is what I want. And then they get to be in that place. It doesn't have to be the way it is today. You don't have to be with people that sell your eyeballs. And that's where Wunder really wants to draw the community over to us. And it wouldn't be possible without the Wunder token. We've got huge plans for it. We really have.
Right. Yeah. So you've spoken a lot, or a little bit at least, about self-custodial digital identity. How does Wunder help users own their own online presence?
Do you know, that's a brilliant question. So I won't go into the mechanics of exactly how it operates, but ultimately, and I think I kind of explained it a little bit before, when you get your digital identity from Wunder, it's something that you hold. It's going to be a non-fungible token that you can store inside of your wallet. And when you need to access something or do something, you exchange certain information about it. So you go through different levels of operation within the application, and you can either be a basic user. So you've just got the standard NFT, you've gone in, we don't know anything about you, and it's just, they're in our platform and it's completely anonymous. That's absolutely fine. You can be a liveness check user who can tell us who you are. Or you can go that step further and be a KYC user. Ultimately, the more steps you go through, the more we can unlock inside the platform, because we know who you are. And we believe deeply that a verified social media platform, not to be intrusive, but provides a safer and more authentic environment for people to engage with one another. So if we get that identity and we give it back to the consumer inside of this, the Wunder ID, which is the wrapper that goes around it, you can then use it to post and then mint NFTs, for example. So your content could be minted as an NFT. If you then monetize that content through our tokenization strategies, so you can then earn money off of that. If it's protected or copyrighted material and someone misuses it, we can help you prevent that from happening. If you want to monetize it further by licensing it to another consumer to actually use your created content, there's a smart contract that will enable that. So all of these things, once we know who you are and your content is yours and you own it and it's minted on the blockchain and it's verified, you open up a world of possibilities for that. And that's where we're going with this token utility and the ownership. That's where we're going.
Awesome. I think that anybody watching today is probably aware of this. If you're not, you've probably been hiding under a rock. But I would say that the two hottest narratives in crypto right now are AI and real world assets. And one of the things that I really love about Wunder is it kind of, the real world asset part is your own identity. How do you guys plan on using AI and AI agents to maximize the user experience with your platform?
Okay, yeah. So we can take it back to AI agents, and we spoke before about kind of self-custodial identity, right? So your online identity should belong to you, not the platform. With Wunder, every user gets self-custodial identity with full control, powered by Wunder items, right? This means your profile, you can't take your data, it's all owned by you, not rented from us. You can prove who you are and everything else that goes with it. This helps us to create something incredibly powerful, a real verified human network. No bots, no fake accounts, no engagement. Farming. Just real people building real communities. In the future, we imagine that Wunder ID becomes this kind of connecting point. So we see the AI tool not as a replacement for people, but a way to empower them at Wunder, where we're building AI agents that work for the user, not to manipulate them. They help you curate your feed, detect deep fakes, flag AI-generated content, filter out what you don't want to see. It's all about giving you control in the space that feels real, not engineered. So they've got to be this kind of sideline supporting element. We're using AI to protect what people create through content fingerprinting and blockchain verification. Our AI agents can spot when protected content is being used without permission, even in other AI training models. So if something is being misused, we can actually help creators recover lost revenue, trigger takedowns, enforce licensing terms automatically via smart contracts. It's not just for creators though, right? Everyone benefits. The technology helps build safer, more authentic experiences across the board. So if you think about, when we're looking at things now, what's real, who's real, where does the content come from? Trust comes back to the internet. And long term, we see AI agents becoming kind of true digital assistants in helping people manage their content, their earnings, their experiences. That's when AI serves you and not the platform. And that's a big thing about this. That's the big difference to us.
Okay. You kind of already answered my own question or my next question, but maybe, you can expand a little bit. In Web3, bots are a huge, huge, huge issue. I'm on Twitter a lot, and it's just amazing to me, how many accounts, these accounts that have, 200,000 followers, and then you go look at one of their posts and they've got, 3 people engaged on it. And it seems like it runs rampant. You already touched on it a little bit, but how does Wunder and your verification process help with that bot situation?
Yeah, it's exactly that, verification, right? Bots are a huge problem in Web3 and Web2. They inflate numbers, they distort value, they break trust. At Wunder, we're solving that from the ground up with self-custodial identity. Every user has a unique verifiable Wunder ID. It's stored in a digital wallet. We create a human-first network where real people power the experiences. No fake accounts or engagement tricks. But to be honest with you, for us, that goes like way beyond blocking bots. Wunder ID is about integrity, right? It's about protection. The internet's grown faster than regulation can keep up. Web 1 was about information. Web 2 was about engagement. Web 3 is supposed to be about ownership. So in between, we lost control. Think about TV watersheds. You don't show adult content before a certain time because, that's when the kids are asleep, so they can't see it. On the internet, we just ask, are you 13? And we let them in. That's not really good enough. But because we just do that, in come the bots, right? We don't have any gateways to protect people. So we just said, no, we're not going to do that. We believe that social media can be harmful to young people, and there is data that backs that up, right? So I wonder if you can't prove you're over a certain age, you can't prove who you are, you just can't access the content, period. It's really simple. We're not just building the tech, right? We're building something we'd be proud of for our own kids to use, a safer, more intentional internet that gives young people room to thrive, and stops them from exposing them to harm. So much harm comes from having these bots in there. There's so much stuff that kids consume and they don't realize what it actually is. And we just want to eliminate all of that. It's not about fake data. It's not about selling nonsense. It's about real, authentic experiences. The Wonder ID for us is just a Trojan horse for change. It's not just to fix the identity problem in Web3, but in Web2, sorry, but to challenge the entire industry to do better. If governments and tech giants who protect mental health and well-being, won't protect mental health and well-being, then it's up to the platforms like us to say enough is enough. The internet should have always worked this way. Real people, real ownership, real responsibility. It's really simple. Take the bots out. We don't need them. It's just, we're talking to computers. Like, why would we do that to ourselves? We're crazy, right? The fact that we ask a computer or a computer asks us if we're real on the way into something is hilarious, right? So, like, why are we involved in stuff like that? So for us, cut them out. Use the digital identity as the line in the sand, and then come and enjoy real conversations with real people, real engagement, and derive real value from it. It really is as simple as that.
Right. Awesome. And then, just wondering, how do you guys plan on getting the adoption, getting enough users to make the network big enough to where people are excited, to join? Because I've seen in the past other companies with great intentions, Web3 based and even Web2 based. If you want to try to, tackle some of these big giant, social media companies, one of the biggest challenges is getting enough people using the platform to where there's value there, and and you kind of get that past that tipping point and get the adoption. So what is your plan? How do you make it easy to onboard people into the platform, and what's your your strategy for getting enough people into the platform to where you kind of hit that adoption curve, if you will?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because it's the biggest challenge in our business. Our chief product officer has got a huge challenge ahead of him. But actually, we think we've got a real way to do it. Standing up an atomic network in social media is your biggest challenge, right? Your cold start. Web3 has struggled with adoption because most projects expect users to learn a whole new language just to participate. Wunder just flips that. We've built a Web2 quality experience with Web3 superpowers. That's how we see it. So whether you're crypto native or you've never been in a wallet in your life, you'll feel right at home, right? You get feature parity with the platforms you're used to, but now with real ownership, real identity, and financial ecosystem you can actually access and benefit from. That's kind of our mindset towards it, right? That led us into partnering with Dynamic, as I've said before, to offer this kind of seamless onboarding experience, one-click logins, embedded wallets, no confusing setup. You don't need MetaMask or a crash course in DeFi. You just log in, start creating, sharing, and earning. That's how to make Web3 invisible. And that's how we want it to make it work kind of for everyone from day one. And let's be real, like Web3 users are Web2 people. They're just people who understand the value of ownership, transparency, and control. So Wunder is for everyone. If you believe in those principles, whether you're here to build a brand, share your creativity, or support a cause, you belong here is the way that we saw this. So for us, the growth starts with the Web3 community, getting behind us, engaging with our token, staking, participating, and helping build the hype. But we also have a huge advantage in our access to influential Web2 creators, celebrities, agents, and studios. Like, we have this really available to us. Our CEO is incredibly well connected in the entertainment space, and that gives us a pipeline of premium content and talent that bring robust communities from day one. We're not asking them to leave their existing communities where they derive revenue. That would be crazy, right? That's kind of cultural capital, is something that most Web3 projects dream of, and we've already got access to it. So yes, adoption is a challenge, but the right tech, the right mission, the right people behind it, Wunder isn't just onboarding users. We're onboarding the future of the internet. And, that comes with people that have felt deeply the challenges that surrounded toxicity in social media. We've had celebrities come to us when we've been doing our research over the last 3 years and been really clear. Like, I came off social media because it was just damaging my mental health. And why? Trolling, poor quality of standards in the platforms that allow people to do those things. They just left, and they're like, look, you do this, we'll come back. And then we've got other people who are just like, yeah, like, I want to make sure that my content is protected, and I care about my stuff, because I spend a lot of time producing this. This is their livelihoods, right? Musicians, artists, video producers, people like yourself, right? You go to great lengths to produce this really great content on YouTube, and at some point or another, because there are lots of unscrupulous things that happen, as we all know, right? That can just be taken away from you by these big powers. Wunder says no to that. We say no to that. You own it. It's yours. You put it in our decentralized blockchain. You mint it on the chain, hold on to it, and you will never have to worry about it. You don't just access it through Wunder. It's yours. We give you access to it. And that is so, so important. So for our perspective, that's how we're getting a network stood up because we've got people that believe that we will change the toxicity in social media, and we will start, or we will be the catalyst to start the change for the future of the internet. And that will bring the community, and it's something that none of the other Web3 projects ever had. So we've got a huge advantage. We're not the new kids on the block. We've been around for 3 years doing this and building that critical mass. So when we hit the ground running, we're going to push that snowball over the edge, and it's going to build momentum very, very, very quickly. So watch this space is what I would say.
Awesome. On that note, let's switch gears a little bit, because I know everybody from my community wants to know a little bit more about the actual token and what is coming up. You know, I know that you're getting ready to announce a launch. We're going to share with everybody here today how they can go out and potentially get some Wunder token before it launches to the public if they like what they see. But, you know, real quick before we get into that, you know, I'm really big on tokens that provide real world utility, that solve a real world problem. There's so many cryptocurrency projects out there that really don't have any reason to exist. And so I'm just kind of wondering, what does Wunder do, you know, to create real utility outside of just speculating on its price?
Do you know what? It's so important to understand that if you're interested in what we're doing, you want to get involved, right? So Wunder isn't about hype. You know, we are about utility. So from day one, we've built into the core of the platform. Creators can earn in from their content if it goes viral. Users can stake to unlock premium features. We have discounts on services like storage and content protection, and brands can use it to license content or reward communities. So like in a nutshell, there's like 5 big uses for it straight away, right? On the back end, it powers everything from governance to storage credits. Even our referral and staking system are tied to it. So it's not just like the token you hold, it's something you actually use inside that ecosystem. And because of that, Wunder has value that's directly connected to the activity and the creativity of the platform itself. It's not just speculation. And it's that engine that keeps the whole economy running. If you want an ID, you need the token. If you want to mint content, you need token. If you want to license content, you need the token. If you want to store content, you need the token. If you want to stake in our pools and benefit from additional kind of unlocking other things in the platform, you need the token. And the list just goes on and on and on. And it's right the way from the top on the client side, right the way down to the bottom of the ecosystem. It's got usage all the way down there. You know, I'm working closely with building a platform on top of Filecoin and IPFS for the storage element and decentralized storage. I'm building a scaling platform on top of that. That's where the storage credit element comes into it. And that's going to be like highly available, highly cacheable data that is all on chain and decentralized, providing the resource to support that. The Wunder token is part of that as well, right? You can earn from the bottom right the way up. There's loads of opportunity that's coming from this. So yeah, the Wunder token is just like everything to us, and it will be to our community.
Awesome. And we were talking a little bit off camera. It doesn't sound like you know the exact date as to when this is going to launch, but you do have a rough idea of when you're planning to take this public?
Yeah, absolutely. So it will be May. There's a few factors that are just influencing it, but it will absolutely be May. So we're now in this kind of final public rounds that we've literally just launched in the last 24 hours. So once we close that off, that's it. We're live. We're going out. There's no launch pads. There's no other rounds. We've had a very successful seed round. We've had a very successful strategic round, completely filled. Those rounds have got, you know, really healthy lockups on the tokens. In fact, the seed has got no release or no unlock on TG at all. So, you know, this is a real opportunity for anyone to get in, basically, if they're interested. But of course, do your due diligence and decide what you want.
Right. Awesome. And it looks like you guys have made it pretty easy. So this is the website where you can go purchase your pre-sale tokens. If I remember correctly, the vesting on these tokens is you get 25% unlocked when the token launches. And then there's going to be a 1-month cliff. So I was curious, Kate, does that mean that they're going to basically get the next batch of tokens basically 60 days after launch? Then they'll get 25% on day 1, and then they get another batch on day 60, day 90, day 120, day 150, roughly, something like that.
Basically, yeah. So it's a 1-month cliff, 4-month vest, and that, yeah, exactly that.
Okay, cool. So I did put this in the link. This is a hyperlink that I put in here in the chat that I've got pulled up there. And then you guys can see it here also right in the top of the live stream. It's this link right here where it says buy Wunder here, public.wunder.social. Very, very simple. You just go, you can click log in or sign up and connect, continue with a wallet, continue with MetaMask, connect it here, and then it just confirm that, and then you're going to have just a little bit of stuff that you put in here, and boom, the next thing you know, you're going to be able to buy the token. You do want to have it on Base for the cheapest fees. This is going to launch on the Base network, so I recommend buying your tokens right on Base if you can. And with that, one of the other things that I was, super excited about this project when we were, looking at it, and my team was kind of going over it, was the Wunder tokenomics are kind of designed to reward not only the creators, but the everyday users. And so we were talking about real world utility, and I think that that's a huge part of it. So if you could maybe just kind of go into a little bit about how people get rewarded for, being participants in the Wunder platform.
Yeah, sure. So the tokenomics are basically built to reward people who actually create value. So not just investors of the big platform. Like that's the point behind it, right? So if you're a full-time creator or just someone who's sharing your world online with friends and family, Wunder's the place that you can store your creativity and control how it's used. And that's how you derive value from it. So on other platforms, your content, your data is exploited. On Wunder, you own everything, and you set the terms through smart contracts. If someone wants to license your content to use your data, they need your permission, and a smart contract will take care of that. You decide the terms in which they do that, how much you charge for it, what the value is for it, and you control that entire experience. We are building an entire ecosystem that allows people to basically monetize their content from day one. The minute you put it up there, the minute it's minted, you can then tokenize that item and decide how you want to use it. We're already building that. It's not the future, it's well and truly on its way. You can stake Wunder straight away into data sharing pools as well. So if you, from our perspective, we're going to be generating a huge amount of data about our community, right? It's all anonymized, so you don't have to worry about that. And there's lots of insights from third parties, and that revenue that flows directly back to the users who opt into those pools, and you choose whether you put your data into that, right? So you can say, well, look, I know I'm going to be exploring Wunder. I know I'm going to be exploring social media. I know that I'm going to be telling an AI agent, this is what I want to see, and this is stuff I'm interested in, and I'm going to like, share, enjoy, comment on, and all that stuff's being built around me. I may as well, if it's going to be sold, make some money out of it. It's really simple like that. Like, you can choose not to sell it at all. You can choose not to stick it in. Don't get me wrong. But that is an opportunity that the average consumer typically doesn't get, right? The same applies to our storage system, right? Where staking earns you storage credits. And on our kind of tokenized asset marketplace, you can actually resell those as well. So content itself becomes a digital asset, and it has real world value. So if you build up these tokens, you've got more than you need for whatever reason, go into the marketplace, sell them. Other consumers can buy them at a cheaper rate and get the storage for cheaper. The idea is just to kind of keep it going round and make it fair and equitable for anybody. We're protecting the model with long-term thinking, right? The team, the investors, they're all locked in for 2 years. Our vesting schedules with no releases, TGE and only small unlocks for the early round people, and none for the seed, because we're not here for a quick flip, right? Most of our backers that come from Web2, they're people who see how broken the system is, and they want to help build something better. So with Web3, we've only really brought on anybody that shares those values as well. Everything in our tokenomics is designed to make Wunder a future top stable token. That's what we're going for. That's the goal. Because it's not about hype. It's about building a better, more authentic internet that lasts. And all of these mechanisms, they just allow the consumer to derive value from the effort that they've put in, real value, right? And that's what makes it so different and unique. And that's what we're really proud of.
Right. I love it. And, for those of you that are part of my community that have been watching me for a while, that I love private sales, and I've invested in a couple hundred of them. I'm not going to try to pull up the document that shows all of the tokenomics because it's hard to see, and on a screen like this, it probably wouldn't make sense to you. But one of the things that I've done is I've looked over the tokenomics and seen, the team unlocks, the earlier rounds, the private sale, the strategic, and like the seed investors. This is definitely a company that is looking long term. Kane just mentioned that they're not looking for a quick flip, and I can confirm that. In my opinion, after looking at these tokenomics, it is definitely built for the long term. It's a slow vesting period. The people that got in the earlier rounds have some pretty good cliffs and a lot, 2-year vesting and so on and so forth. In fact, that's one of the things that I think is cool about what we're sharing with them today, Kane, is that this is the only round that actually gets tokens on day one. All of the other rounds have some sort of cliff. And so everybody that invests in this token in this round and gets that 25% on day one, this is the only round that gets an unlock like that. So I think that's pretty amazing.
And so I think I may have said this slightly wrong before, Brad. I apologize, but I think that one of the changes was that in the strategic round, there is a small unlock for them as well. I apologize. I think that was my mistake. But yeah, if you see in there, it was. I think I just misread it to you. But yeah, there is a small strategic unlock as well. But that round is tiny. It's like it was 500K. It was a very small round.
Cool. I love it. And then I was curious. Are there anything on the horizon? You might be able to give us a sneak peek into some milestones or announcements, partnerships that are coming up with the company?
There's some that I'm not allowed to say. There's some that I can. There are a lot of people that are really interested in what we're doing, right? So we are currently talking to the team at IBC and Mario Norfall, I always say his name incorrectly, to incubate Wunder and help to elevate our presence in the Web3 space. Something we're definitely entertaining and very interested in. Obviously, they've got a lot of presence and they can kind of push us out quite wide, and they're very interested in the product. Or the project, sorry. So that's really flattering. Watch this space for that one and what happens with that. We've got another kind of lead investment group that really want to get involved in what we're doing for it on other terms outside of this, and they're assisting us right now in kind of getting us onto the big centralized exchanges, which I'm really pleased to say we've got a lot of interest from. So we're not looking at the bottom tiers, we're looking at the tier ones, which is amazing. Not something that many Web3 projects get to do, certainly not in the social space. I haven't seen any launch on the ones that we're talking about. So that's really exciting and that's different. For those who want to be part of the movement early, our public round, has just gone live. So, and as you've been saying, Brad, like the details on the site, if you're feeling competitive, we've also just launched huge Zeely campaigns. So we've actually got $20,000 worth of prizes up for grabs as well right now. So, just search Wunder Social on X, Telegram, Zeely, and come and join the community. We're building this with you. We're not doing it for you. So let's go and do this together. And yeah, I think probably the most exciting thing right now is the fact that, we really want to reward the Web3 community for kind of putting their arms around us and being so generous to us and kind to us. We really appreciate the backing and the support. So $20,000 worth of prizes up for grabs right now. So make the most of that, get on those Zeely campaigns and get involved in our community. And yeah, I think that, the other stuff is like general partnerships, right? It's help people like the guys at Dynamic.xyz who are helping me build this self-sovereign identity ownership. I'm really proud to be working with them. I love that team. They're really good people. They really understand UX. They really understand how to get this to the masses. And that's a really great support. I mentioned before, we've got like a giving element or a paying it forward element to our platform. We've got a strategic partnership with the guys at Giving Block as well, which we don't really talk about too much, but that's, huge. It's a real opportunity to unlock charitable giving on chain, which, that whole charitable world is broken terribly. So we'd love to be able to kind of disrupt that a little bit from what we're doing. So there's lots coming up. Our actual DApp, like the one you're seeing there, that public DApp, has got like a sprint 2 that's coming very, very shortly behind it. Lots of gamification, lots of fun, lots of opportunity to engage with the Wunder token. So the utility starts like almost instantly. And then very shortly after that, we will be launching the new Wunder Social app itself. There is one in the App Store right now. That's just been our kind of test app. So please, community, don't worry about that one too much. The one that's coming, the one that we're building, the one that is Web3 It's on the horizon. The DApp comes out soon because we want to support the utility of the token from day one. And then very shortly after that, we'll be releasing the social app. If you want to be involved in that, you've got to get into the DApp. You've got to reserve your username now, because there's literally going to be a queuing system. Because if we release it like straight away, there'll just be too much, and we'll have it'll just get lost in context and won't be healthy. So get in now, reserve your usernames on the Wunder website. You can do that by going to wunder.social. And then just wait for the announcements. Listen out, right? Make sure you get the username that you want as well. If you've ever had to have a handle on another platform that you didn't like, right, go and get yours there. And if you look just there on the screen, Brad, the two CTAs that are just below the Better Digital World. So there's two buttons there. Just up a little bit, mate. There they are. There's two black buttons there.
Yep.
The first one is claim your username. That one right there. Click on that. Do that. Doesn't cost you anything. It is free. But what it's doing is it's securing it in the back end. It's registering you for Wunder. And when you actually join the app in the future, you'll be straight in with that username. So we've got it set up. We just send you a code and away you go. So please do that. Like we want to build a community. I think we've had like 20,000 people do it in the last couple of weeks. We're expecting that to explode. So yeah, get in now, get in the queue, come and join the community, get on the Zealies, earn yourself, a share in that $20,000. And yeah, like just get involved. We're really excited and we can't wait to launch the token in May.
Yeah, absolutely. And I went in and got mine, folks. So don't go try to steal infinite crypto. It's already taken.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's really good to hear. I'm really glad you have. Thank you.
So, real quick, I think we kind of answered this, but for people that maybe are still a little bit on the fence, haven't decided if they want to purchase tokens yet, they want to do a little bit more research, I've got all of your socials right here in the description. They can go to wunder.social. They can go to your Twitter. They can go to your Telegram. Where's the best place for my community to meet up with your community and get their questions answered if they do have, if they're sitting on the fence and they've got, some questions before they go invest their hard-earned money? Where would you like them to go join your community at?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Telegram is the place that, the whole of Web3 operates, I guess. So, by all means, come and hit us up on Telegram. Come and find me. I am always open to chat to people. Wunder Socials group is there. You've got it on there. You can find me in that group. Direct message me, right? Kane Brennan, I'm a pretty easy one to find. There's not many people with my name. Hit me up. I'm always open to talk. I can reassure you about anything. We've been at this for a while now. So, I know there's lots of projects that are popping up everywhere. We're not one of those, right? We're here for the long haul. So get us on Telegram. If you want to send an inquiry through the website, go to wunder.social by all means. If you want to get access to the DApp for the purchase, that's where you go to. It's literally a button that says invest early on the homepage. That's live now. You can do that. Follow us on X, right? Get involved in Zealies. We've got a really cool creator community competition going right now. So go and look at that. Create a meme, get involved in that conversation, and just follow it all. Telegram is probably the best place though, because we do answer. Like we're not. No one else is managing it for us. We have got a team that are kind of supporting it, but actually all of our team are on that channel. So you can talk to the CEO, you can talk to me. Talk to the chairman, you can talk to the CMO, the CPO. We are all there, and we're totally transparent. We believe in being honest and real. So we're looking after it for ourselves, and we stick to that ethos.
Awesome, man. That sounds fantastic. What do you think, Kane? You ready to give away some money?
Absolutely, man. Let's go for it.
Awesome. So I want to thank you, Kane, and your whole team once again for giving you, for you being able to come and spend an hour here with us. And thank you for your generosity. The Wunder team donated this $100 to the stream so that we could give out $100 to you guys. Obviously, we would love to see you use this and go buy some Wunder tokens, but you're not required to. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away $100 in USDT, and we're going to do it on the base network. I think I've got some USDT already there. That'll make it easy for those of you that just want to connect your wallet and go buy $25 worth of the private sale. I got my cat here trying to become YouTube famous. Hey, buddy, I'm going to be done here in just a couple minutes, okay? Mwah!
Cat wants to
loves to jump in my lap while I'm live streaming. So let's get over and show you guys what we're going to do, how we're going to give this money away. Let me get back over here. Yeah. So what we're going to do now to give everybody a fair chance and to make it even for everybody is I've got my little StreamYard tool set up here, and all you're going to do is type in hashtag I am buying in the chat. And we're going to give you guys about 30 seconds, a minute, maybe a minute and a half to do that, just to make sure that everybody is present and paying attention still, and that you guys, you know, the people that have sat here and been a part of this for the whole hour are the people that are going to be winning. So I am buying is going to get you. You can see the entries are going up now. While I'm letting you guys do that, let me show you how we're going to verify the winner. So I'm just going to pick a random name. No, Logan's here at the bottom. Logan, you're not a winner, but I want to just use your YouTube channel to show you. When you get picked on this comment picker, you're going to make a comment in the chat. Let us know that you're still here. I'm going to then look at I'm going to click on your username and go to your channel. That is going to pull up your YouTube channel. It looks like he's ready for her to win. And this is what you're going to do. Everybody that has a YouTube channel, you can update your about or your bio. And so what you're going to do is you're going to give me an EVM wallet address like Trust Wallet. You're going to want to give me, you know, or MetaMask, probably not an exchange. You're going to want to use a private wallet. And you're going to give me a address like this OX address, and then you're going to see USDT on the base network show up in your account. And so that's how this also helps me avoid scammers, Kane. In the old days, I would pick winners and I'd give them 24 hours to, you know, get in touch with me in case they weren't still live. But what ended up happening is I would have 5 Logans reach out to me and all act like their YouTube channel was the one that won, because these guys are pretty good at cloning accounts. Yeah. So by doing it live like this, I really eliminate the scammers' ability to try to take advantage of the giveaways. So with that, let's go ahead and do the drawing. Let's get over here and see who our first $25 winner of USDT on the base network is.
I love this. This is super cool. Just imagine, right? You could have avoided all that scamming if only there was a platform that made everyone real.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when you were talking about that earlier, because, you know, it's crazy how many people will really try to take advantage of something like this for 25 bucks. Happy. Hey, I love that name. Anybody with a YouTube channel called Happy is a friend of mine, man. Thank you so much for being here today. Please go update your bio and I will get $25 in USDT sent over to you. Our second winner is Just a Chill Guy. That's a pretty cool username too, man. Just a Chill Guy. I hope a couple of people from your community do some winning here today, Ken. I always love it. Yeah. Your community came out and really supported the project today. I appreciate that. And you know, hopefully a couple of your diehards win some money today too.
Yeah, and you know what? I just want to say thank you to them. Like, really grateful for that you've shown up in force like this. Like, at Dynamite Crypto, congratulations. That's wicked. Yeah, like, really grateful for the presence. Like, it's amazing.
Do you have any idea, Kane, what the cutoff is going to be? Is there urgency to go get this done quickly, or do they have a week or two? What do you think? Hey, yeah.
Zida, well done. So that's all 4. Congratulations, guys. Yeah. So look, if any of our other rounds or anything to go by, like, I don't expect this to be available very long. We are capping it to 1 million. So we don't expect it to be very long to get there. We've raised about 2.8 million to date, pretty darn easily, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, if you're on the fence, you know, and you want to talk to us, by all means talk to us. You know, hopefully we can help you do that, and you know, we respect any due diligence that you want to do. It's really important that you do. But yeah, I don't expect it to be open that long, and that will determine, to be honest with you, how quickly we launch the token. Like, so as I said to you, like, we are targeting May. I'm being realistic and saying 4 weeks, but none of the other rounds have taken that, to be fair. So yeah, we'll just see.
Okay, sounds good, man. I got Dynamite Crypto and Zda. I see both of you in the chat. I haven't seen there's Just a Chill Guy. Just a Chill Guy, congratulations. And then just waiting on Happy. Happy, we need you to raise your hand up in the chat. Let us know that you are still here so that I can verify your YouTube channel, please. So Happy, pop into the chat. If I don't know how you could have typed in I am buying and not still be in the chat, but if for some reason we lost you, I'm going to have to go do another winner here very, very soon. So I'll give you a few more seconds to let us know that you are here in the chat, Happy. And if you don't, I'm going to have to give me no choice but to go ahead and draw another winner. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, on to another winner. On to another winner. I don't know how you guys can do that, but it happens every once in a while. So the fourth winner is going to be All Fine With Me.
I'm sure it is all fine with them.
All Fine With Me. You are our fourth winner. So let us know in the chat that you are here, please. All right, All Fine With Me. Do me a favor. So Happy showed up. Happy, go ahead and do me a favor. Go ahead and let me, I'm going to pull up your account, even though you were a little bit late. Put your address in there, and I'm going to go ahead and I feel generous. I'm going to let you both win.
Yeah,
so
yeah. We'll support that. We'll support that. No problem.
What's that?
We'd happily support that. No problem at all.
Oh, okay. Awesome, man. So All Fine With Me is a winner. Zda, Dynamite Crypto, Chill Guy, and Happy. You are all winners. Please go update your bio with me. And, with that, I'm going to go back out here to our main screen and wrap this thing up. Once again, Kane, this was really super enjoyable. I'm really excited to see, what happens over the next handful of years. I know that there's going to be a winner. And I believe in all of my heart that people that support a project like this in the beginning are going to get to participate in the winning. I've never made 1 penny from Facebook. Instagram has never mailed me a check. TikTok, none of them have ever, made me any money through my private social accounts. Of course, like YouTube, I make a little bit of money for being a YouTuber, but in general, like none of my personal accounts have ever gotten paid a penny. And so I've always believed that this type of platform, if it really gains traction and takes off and treats its users right, is going to be not only an amazing investment, but also just amazing for the individual users. So I'm rooting for you guys, and super excited. And one other thing, folks, not financial advice, but if the markets go anything like I believe they're going to, this project is going to be launching right into a massive part of the bull cycle. There's no guarantees, but if you look at the previous cycles, there's a pretty good possibility in my mind that come May, we're looking at $125,000, $150,000, $175,000 Bitcoin, and could potentially be right smack dab in the middle, of altcoin season. And so you just never know what's going to happen. I've told this story a few times, Kane, but I got in on a project called Blocktopia during the last bull run, and I got $1,000 into that project in the private sale. And when it launched, we got 5%, and then we got 5% a month. And when I first launched, I was able to sell my first $50 for $5,000. Wow. And then I felt stupid because by the time my next 5% came through a month later, I was able to sell that 5% for $20,000. It had literally 400x'd on me in the first month, and then I got another $20,000 for the next 5%. And then it kind of started going back down. That was towards the peak of the bull market. And, so the last 5% that I got right then, I got another 5,000 for, but I ended up selling $200 worth of that private sale token for $50,000. And once again, there's by no means are we saying or speculating that that's going to happen with this token. But, you just never know with a project like this. And if it launches at the right time and it gains traction, some exciting things are possible.
Yeah, it's real, right? It's real, and that's the big thing for us. And You know, you make your decisions, and we respect that. And we're just really grateful for the support we've had. So, and you know, thank you very much to you, Brad, and thank you for everybody that's kind of shown up today to be here. Everybody that's invested so far. You know, everyone that wants to be involved. Like, hopefully this is time, right? Hopefully we are running into a new bull run. You know, I won't deny that secretly that is part of the delay, right? We were going to go out a little while ago, but like, listen, let the market recover a little bit. Let everybody see how this is going to play out. Of course we did, because we're here for the long run, right? And we want everybody to win with us. And that's the big difference. We want you to win with us. You know, you made a really good point there, Brad, about, you know, you've never been paid money by any of those platforms. It's sickening to think how much money they've made off the back of you though, right? It's sickening. And that's the thing that really gets us here. And that's the thing that we want to do differently. We just want to give people the chance to do that and you know, just win, you know, win together. It doesn't have to be one person lining their pockets. We can all win together.
Amen. And I just wanted to give a shout out to the Real Happy. I got you. I caught the person that was trying to scam us. That's somebody got a fake happy going on us just that quick. This is the fake. And then this is the real one. It's amazing that people can can do it that quick. So Happy, I got your portfolio pulled up. This fake Happy here, don't bother filling in yours because you're not getting anything. But sir, we got you covered here, Happy. I've got your account pulled up and you are all set and ready to go.
Amazing. Yeah, see, wouldn't have happened on Wonder.
All right, Kane. Well, I'm going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I know it's getting a little bit later where you are. And I'm really looking forward to going and getting some of these tokens myself. So I'm going to get some funds moved over to the base network. I'm going to go buy some of this private sale token, folks. I love the vesting. 25% at launch is very, very fair and generous than just a 1 month cliff. I've invested in some projects that had 3 and 6 month cliffs and that I didn't get all of my tokens for 2 or 3 years. And those projects were fine too. But I like the fact that, in my opinion, we're going to get the majority of the tokens into our wallets over the next, 6, 7, 8 months, which should theoretically still be while we're hopefully in an uptrend in the crypto market. So once again, not financial advice, guys. But just wanted to thank you for being here, Kane. I look forward to having you guys on the channel again and continuing to promote Wonder. And hopefully this turns into a long, beautiful friendship.
Thank you, man. Yeah, really looking forward to it, Brad. And thank you for today. We, like you said on the round right now, much like everything we're doing, we're putting the people first, and that's the point behind this. The investors don't have all this unlocked; the people do. And that is part of it, what's just ingrained into us. This is a platform for the people. Come and be part of it. We believe the internet can be better. So, please come along for that ride with us. Whether you're a creator, community builder, or just someone who believes, just come and be involved. We'd really appreciate it. So, and we really appreciate you, Brad. Thank you for having us on.
You're very welcome. And I just want to answer this question again real fast. Scott, the launch is scheduled for sometime in May. Don't know for sure exactly the date yet, but depending on how fast this last round sells out, and I'm assuming, Kane, a little bit depending on the market. If we run into the beginning of April and Bitcoin's 150, there's probably a pretty good chance that it launches towards the beginning of May. Where if Bitcoin is still struggling a little bit and it looks like it's needs a little bit more time to really start taking off, that maybe it could be a little bit later in May. Is that a fair?
Yeah, I think we want it to work for everybody, right? So there's always factors with these things, and we want to get that. Ideally, we want to get that serendipitous moment, but what we won't do is delay it beyond that. That's what I can assure you. We want to find that sweet spot. That sweet spot may not come. It might be a little bit longer. We're going to chase it as best we can. The faster the round closes, the more power we have to make that decision. So, I guess like anything, we're trying to give the power to the people through the platform, empower us to make that decision when it's ready. Because if it changes, which it can do on a dime, as we know this, we want to be ready. We want to be ready to go and everyone to win.
Perfect. All right, everybody. Thank you once again for watching. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you tomorrow on our microcap gem live stream at 9 in the morning. I am going to go back over this project a little bit on my microcap gem live stream tomorrow. So for anybody that missed this one, my community will get a chance to see me talk a little bit about you guys again then. So with that, God bless. Have a fantastic night, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks all. Take care. See you.